Okay, guys, we get the camera on. It is Tuesday and it's a regular oil call. I'm so excited about doing an oil call once again. Sean is hopping on. I'm waiting for Megan to hop on because hopefully there you go, Megan's on too. Awesome, guys, welcome. I'm kind of excited about this call again. It's our Ava is on too. Yay, all kind of people coming in. If you want to, you can kind of mute yourself if you have a lot of background noise, and that may be helpful. Or we can mute you. There we go. There's some muting going on. So Ava, I'm just going to mute you for a second, Lexi.
Okay.
I can. No. I'm not sure if I can mute you right now.
I'm going to mute myself. Is that okay?
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Just until we have. I'd love to have your input, by the way, as we're talking, because you did so much on our Saturday call. I'd love to hear a lot more from you about it. So sometime please join in. But we're going to talk about digestive health and allergies. And I'll be on the call for a little bit, and I'll go downstairs for a little bit because I still have a class going. So sorry, guys, I had kind of planned that a little bit wrong. But anyway, so digestive health. Let's talk about that first. Megan, is it okay if I start out with the digestive health and then you'll talk about the allergies for a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's talk about that. So digestive health, let's start with that and see what do you think has worked for you. And I'd love to hear some comments as we're going along about what is the best way to use these oils. The minute I think about digestive health, I think about DigestZen. And that's the one that I've absolutely loved the most and what I've used the most as well. I go back to a lot of times when I was in Africa. A lot of you know that story, but I just want to say that for some of you who may be listening to the recording. I had a lot of, when I was there, ate something bad, got a lot of problems with my stomach, diarrhea, vomiting, the whole shebang. And I really felt really, really bad. And the oils kind of saved me. There was about 2 days that I felt really, really sick. And I was at one point wondering like, oh my goodness, what do I need to do? And at that point, I started really using the oils like crazy. Started using a lot of oregano and a lot of melaleuca. I put it in a little bit of vegetable oil and I started drinking it. I did have some capsules with me, but I really wanted to have the lining of those oils to my whole digestive tract. And I got better pretty soon. Actually, sooner than some of the local people got better. I was pretty drawn because I'd lost a lot of fluid, but I got better. And it was about, I think, 3 or 4 days where I was able to do everything I wanted to again and go on with my life, which was pretty remarkable to me. So they've been DigestZen, and that was so oregano and melaleuca, and the DigestZen I added at that point too, when I put DigestZen all over my stomach as well, and also took that internally. So those were kind of the 3 oils I really used at that point that I really felt like kept me from going to the hospital. So it was that bad. I've also used a lot of DigestZen just every now and then. If I go and be with my kids or for myself, if I have stomach upset, if I don't quite feel right. I have a funny story about DigestZen, and then I'd love to hear your comments too. But that was when we were traveling and we were coming back from the beach. And I was with 2 little boys, my son and his friend in the car. And we all felt we're hungry. So we're like, okay, let's just go to one of those fast food places. I won't say which one. So we did. And the minute we got into the car, my son was like, oh, why did we do that? Because he felt so bad. And I'm like, well, look in the back, there's a box. So he got the box with essential oils out. And he took it, and again, with his friends. A funny thing, just by the smell, I started feeling much better right away too. So that was a funny added on to DigestZen, how that has worked. So I've taken it both just by smell or taken internally. It made a huge difference for me. Anybody else wants to add something about DigestZen or about how they have used any of the oils for the digestive tract? I'd love to hear some of your examples.
Oh, I love DigestZen. So my mom actually had a really powerful experience with DigestZen a while ago. Like one of her first, real experiences, I think, with the doTERRA oils. But she had flu really bad, and so as such, she was, vomiting, and then of course had diarrhea as well. And it was pretty bad. Like, every few minutes having to run to the bathroom and stuff. And so she's just like, Tang, this is awful. What can I do? And then she's like, oh, wait, I have some essential oils. And Meg told me to use, try out some of that Digestin for digestive health. And so she tried a couple drops, and I believe she took it internally. I'm not entirely sure, but within minutes, she was actually able to stabilize and stop having to run to the bathroom every few minutes. And so it was a really powerful experience for her.
Awesome. I love that one. Anybody else wants to share some? That's a really good one, Megan. I mean, right now there's a lot of going on with flu symptoms and stomach flu. Oregano, guys. Oregano has moved like crazy. Somebody else wanted to say something. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, I'll say something. My first good experience with Digestin with my family was Thanksgiving time. My husband, of course, overindulged, and I just intuitively brought it with me. We were out of town, and I guess he was still in the stages of, I don't know, but he was just not feeling well, and he said, okay, what do you have? And he wouldn't take it internally then, but I literally put it all over his abdomen and his tummy area, and within 20 minutes he was but belching up a little bit like peppermint, he said, and he was starting to feel so much better, and then he got a good night's sleep, and I thought, oh my goodness, thank you. So, and then now, we've gotten to the point where we will take a few drops internally, and, you can also rub it on your abdomen and take it internally. It's just like a double whammy effect. And it's just, it's soothing. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Good. Well, that's a good one to hear about. Amy, you've done a lot in terms of you studied a lot also about digestive health, right? When you did that for that Saturday presentation. Is there anything you want to say that kind of stood out about digestive health and what to do, what kind of oils to use besides the Digestin that we've talked about a lot? Was there anything that stood out for that one?
Well, we did talk about the oregano, about how oregano is very powerful, counteracting the norovirus. I'm talking with people and out and about. There was a gentleman from Cuba that I mentioned, and I mentioned, oregano, you could put it in a capsule, you could add it to your cooking. You could put it, it's a hot oil. I don't know if you want to put it in water and drink it. I prefer doing the capsule, or put a little bit under your tongue. And he's like, my grandmother, he goes, anytime we came to her and said, oh, my tummy hurts, that was the first thing, you need oregano. So, but yeah, the oregano is powerful. I think I was starting to come down with whatever was going around. It seems like every other week feel like I'm starting to come down with something, because there's so many people that I know that have this flu-like virus. And I said, oh no, not today. And I started doing, capsules of oregano and Digestin, and I even used thyme.
Oh, really?
Yep. I used thyme, and I think it was thyme and rosemary in a capsule, and then oregano in a capsule. And I just, within a day and a half, I felt so much better, and I didn't fully get sick. I just felt a little feverish. And then I hear, everybody around me is like really, really sick. And I thought, well, oils again, yay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, oregano is a really, really good one. There's also a lot to say about GI cleansing. I don't know if you want to talk about that today. What time is it, Megan? See what time is it now. Can you see
it is 7:09.
Okay, so we have a couple more minutes.
Yeah, just a couple.
There is a whole GI cleansing formula as well. I was asked a little bit about that too. And generally that's used for 10 days, right? And it cleanses the GI pretty well. And then there's also, of course, there's a probiotic defense formula as well for 5 days to help rebuild the friendly flora with that as well. So that's kind of, if you're thinking about doing kind of a detox or a cleanse, there's certain protocols that you can use for that as well. So that's one to keep in mind as well. Any other one that really stands out in terms of digestion is besides oregano and the digestion? We're having a little bit of a background noise. Let me see if you want to mute yourself. Okay, just mute some audio for a second. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say peppermint. Peppermint. A friend of mine swears by it. She has a sensitive stomach, and now she just keeps a roller of peppermint with her all the time. It's almost as if she needed something to be simpler, like very simple, not even a blend, and her grandchildren, anytime they come to her and they say, my tummy doesn't feel well, the peppermint goes on.
Right.
Coconut.
I love it. Yeah. Well, peppermint is awesome. I agree with you. And just, you can put it on the outside, right? The 3 methods we've talked about a little bit, but like diffusing, right? Putting on the outside or putting it internally. I think those are all 3 ways of doing it. But peppermint is an awesome one. I really love that as well.
She hasn't needed to do it internally. I mean, people a lot of times are not ready to do that right away, even something as simple as peppermint or lemon. But, I think she'll get to that eventually. If she needs it that way.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I think we are so much used to, right? I personally am so used to taking oils internally right now that when people are a little bit afraid of it or kind of concerned about it, in general, you don't have to. I mean, it's the oils are so pure that you can take your oils internally. It's that's often what I say to people now, and I think we don't have to be afraid of taking oils internally as long as you don't take an entire bottle, as long as you take it to 1 or 2 drops. But yeah, you're right. I mean, to me, it's almost foreign when people say oh, can you take them internally? It's yeah, I've been doing it for 2 years now and been fine with it. But yeah, absolutely. If it doesn't work internally, use it externally. I love that. Peppermint's a good one too.
Yeah, I probably told you a while back about when I had heartburn because of an injury in my esophagus. Right. And I kept putting, this is when I first started doing the oils, I kept putting digestin on there, and it would make it go away for a while, but then it would come back. Then I finally got the nerve up and I started taking it internally, and within maybe 3 weeks, it even healed the esophagus there.
Nice.
I didn't have any more heartburn or any other problem from it again.
Wow.
I had
awesome.
I had done it physically working in the garden. So.
And you just remind me of a story of a girl that I knew that had pretty bad stomach upset. In terms of her bowels was totally, and she was here on a mission actually. She was about to go home, and because she couldn't eat anything, and literally 2 days of digest, and it's over. We had somebody actually come on Saturday, and to our meeting, and he's like, well, how long is it supposed to take? I'm like, well, after a week or 2, you really should have a difference. 2 days. And he's like, I've had this for months and they've had no solutions for it. 2 days, and his stomach and the stuff that he had around his stomach and bowels is gone. And I think something the miracles are pretty awesome, right? It's with digestion. So love that. Any other stories before I'm going to give this stuff to Megan? We have kind of few people joining on the call. And you can see
we overlook lavender. Lavender is really good. I think for gas. So I like the fact that lavender is in the Triese, the capsule. I think it's an added benefit there too. So I've been experimenting with lavender, a drop underneath the tongue, and so that's a good one to try too if you don't have other symptoms, just maybe some bloating and some gas. You could try the lavender. And lemon is good too. They're pH balanced.
Okay.
Oh, and then you've got the peppermint that Jen's mom said. So yeah.
I like lemongrass too. I've used lemongrass for some inflammation in reaction to foods before, whether it be dairy or wheat or other food sensitivities. I've taken it internally and I've used it topically as well. I love lemongrass. I've also had a lot of people on my team have great success, of course, with DigestZen, but with the soft gels. People that have ongoing kind of chronic issues, taking one soft gel a day has really made a big difference of the DigestZen.
Okay, awesome.
And Ella uses the probiotics regularly.
Okay.
I do sometimes, but she really seems to need the probiotics.
Okay.
We love
the probiotics. Yeah.
We've been using the probiotics in our household too. My son takes the PB Assist Junior in the little satchel. And my husband and I have been taking I do intermittently. I'll do some days, I'll do the capsule, the probiotic with the prebiotic fibers, I believe. And then some days if I'm traveling out and about, the satchel's so easy to put in your bag. So I do that. Plus I like the taste.
and it tastes good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, it tastes very good. The kids, I love the kids. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like candy. All right. Well, thanks, guys. We're going to go and move over a little bit too, because I want to have some time for Megan to go over her stuff as well with allergies. But any kind of other things. Megan, I'm also going to just make you the host for a little bit, okay? So you can actually manipulate everything that you want. So,
sweet. Okay.
But awesome. Yeah. Okay.
I'm in charge. No,
You're in charge, so there you go.
awesome.
Go for it, girl. Talk about it.
All right, cool. Well, actually, just like to add to the digestive health too for a moment, I actually ran out of DigestZen myself the other week, and so what I just started doing was picking out oils that they use actually in the DigestZen blend. I started using ginger, and then peppermint, of course, and let's see, and then what else did I go for? I think then fennel as well. And so to do as well if you're having problems with your digestive health and say you're out of DigestZen or something, so you can just start picking out single oils like that. And I really like ginger. That one has helped quite a bit with like motion sickness, which I don't get that too often, but occasionally that happens. And then just with I don't know, just kind of regulating things and keeping things smooth. So always something to keep in mind. But anyway, so awesome comments. I always learn from these calls. Anyway, so the second half of our call tonight is all about allergies. And it's kind of funny, actually, that I'm talking about it because I don't really have allergies, as far as I know. And so I hope that someone who does have allergies, which, I hope you don't, that's not a very pleasant thing. But if you do, I'd love to hear experiences from you all and what you've used. But off the top of my head, just to talk about a couple ideas before we have you all start sharing experiences and also just ideas. So one of the best blends that I have people use, and also my husband Colin, he gets really bad allergies out here on the East Coast. And right now, oh gosh, a little bit of background noise. Just mute Anna-Marie for a moment. Sorry, Anna-Marie, had to do that. Anyway, but so out on the East Coast, it is time for allergy season. I went out to my car today and it was just covered in yellow pollen. I don't know if any of you had the same thing happen to you, but today is just covered in pollen. But yeah, so my husband Colin, since East Coast really just acts up his allergies, he's been using Tri-Ease blend. So with the lemon, the lavender, and the peppermint, and just taking one of those soft gels. Well, at first he did probably one in the morning, one at noon, and then one at night. And over time, that actually helped take care of his allergies really nicely. And then he just had to decrease to taking one in the morning. And yeah, and so, take the blend. That's always a really powerful one. Or, just try any of the, single oils in that blend. Peppermint is one of the most powerful ones just because it opens up your airways so fast. And around allergy season, of course, what's everyone doing? Well, sneezing all over the place. Already I've, just been meeting people and I'm like, here's a tissue. Here, have a tissue. And then also have some peppermint to go with that. But peppermint works really nicely for opening up the airways. And then also Breathe. That's another awesome blend just because it opens things up beautifully. And I use that even in the morning just to kind of help open things up and even just wake me up. And so those are a couple ideas for allergies, but I would love to hear from all of you now. for those of you who do have allergies, especially, I'd love to hear what your best practices are for helping you manage that.
Hey, it's Jen. I have so many allergy stories. I don't know. I can put my video on. My picture doesn't show up when.
Oh, perfect. There you are.
Oh, lovely.
Looking gorgeous.
Yeah. Let's see. I absolutely love the Tri-Ease soft gels, like you said, but we have used lemon, lavender, and peppermint, that same combination. We've used it in a roller.
Okay.
I've had times where my eyes swell up and pretty much swell closed, and I've taken just a drop of lavender, sometimes all three, sometimes one or two of the oils in that group, and just put it around, my eye socket kind of, and it's stopped it in its tracks. Ella was having a allergic reaction to something she ate, and she was having, like she said, she felt like her lips were swelling up and her throat felt funny, and we were in the car and I got kind of panicky, and she took a couple Tri-Ease. I put those 3 oils under her tongue. I had them with me, and she felt better almost immediately. I have had people diffuse the 3 and have success, and I've had someone with really stubborn allergies who has also needed to add lemongrass. When she added lemongrass to the diffuser, it made all the difference. I heard that tip, a couple years ago, and she's the only person who I've had who's needed to use that. Oh, and I was just reading about Roman chamomile being really good as a preventative, for allergies. And then as far as breathing, we love to use, we love the Breathe stick, but also just plain eucalyptus, lemon.
Yes.
I love to use the lemon behind the ears, lemon and lavender to kind of get the lymph nodes clearing, and do a lot of massage along the neck.
Awesome.
So those are some of the things we've used.
I like that. So now when you put the 3 in the roller bottle, where do you usually put it on for allergies?
You can, because I too have had people that don't want to take them internally. You can put them you can put a little bit under your nose, you can put it on your wrist and smell it. I've had people put it on their chest.
Sure.
So it's, I think even back of the neck, just kind of getting it, I would say on the head area. You can absolutely do the toes as well.
Okay. Just the toes, not the entire feet?
Well, I was reflexing more to the, to the sinuses and to the head.
Okay. So
but you can always do the chest area as you want. Mom's giving me a thumbs up, so.
Yeah, all right.
Toes are good.
Donna knows. Awesome. Man, okay, so lemongrass. I feel like we can use lemongrass for everything, gosh.
Well, it's funny. My 2 comments are, lemongrass for digestive health. Oh, yeah, lemongrass for allergies.
Lemongrass.
It's good for everything.
Yeah, it seriously is. I've been using it every morning. Did I hear another comment from somewhere? I thought someone else was speaking.
Me. Jennifer mentioned lemon, lavender, and peppermint around the eye socket. The other one that I like is lemon, rosemary, and peppermint. Not as much peppermint, of course, but rosemary is an anti-inflammatory. And when I went on a winter camp out and I was having some major issues with, swelling of the eyes out in the woods in Harford County, I had that with me and I was so glad.
Yeah.
Well, the lemon is good for the lymphatic system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the rosemary is an anti-inflammatory, and then the peppermint also with that as well. And I think it just got everything moving and draining, and I looked so much better by after breakfast. So.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. Sorry, go ahead.
It smells good too.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll wake you up.
It's like always one of the best things about the oils is like, you've got this awesome health benefit and then you just smell good too. So really it's a win all around. Great. Okay. Do we have any other best practices, ideas for oils we can use during allergy season? Or I guess just allergies in general. I mean, if you have a food allergy or something, that's going to be kind of constant, I guess. But
well, I was just going to say, you can always, we talk about taking those things to prevent allergies, and we've talked about respiratory health a lot on different calls, but just to make sure that using Breathe, but also even doing the tricks to open yourself up as far as a drop of an oil in a cup of hot water and inhaling it, a drop of eucalyptus in the shower, you can, the steamy, that's a good way to open up. Even just putting a drop of Breathe between your hands and rubbing it together, and cupping and breathing it in that way.
Oh, yes.
Those are some fast opened up ways. ways to open up. I like using the peppermint beadlets, popping one in your mouth or doing a drop of peppermint in the mouth, on the roof of the mouth, particularly when you're taking every breath. It just opens you up
Yes.
in a great way. I was just
Yes,
trying to think
I
of
love
other ways to apply them. You can do the personalized little vapor sticks, the tubes.
Personalized
You know
vapor
what I'm
stick.
talking about? The little
Yeah, I don't,
tubes
actually.
that have a wick in it, and then you put a drop on it, and you can inhale it.
That sounds really
Take you
cool.
off and I'll go get a picture. You can get cheap plastic ones, or they make fancy, pretty ones. I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, go grab. That's really cool. Yeah, and actually just seconding what Jen said about the little steam bath thing, that works amazing. So, I mean, outside of allergies, I mean, I mainly use it for like colds and stuff when I, obviously like your respiratory tract like just gets inflamed and like, so, you're like everything's inflamed, your mucus and stuff. And so it's just really bad, like you can't breathe. And that's probably one of the most annoying feelings to me on the planet. And so I remember what I did with that was, obviously just got some hot water, right, poured into the cup. And then I think I'm trying to remember how many drops of each, but I remember it was about probably like 3 drops of oregano, just to help kill, fight that infection. And then also a couple drops of Breathe, and then also, not Breathe, On Guard as well. So like Breathe, On Guard, and oregano. And that was a potent mixture, when I put the towel over my head and just started breathing in those oils and from the steam, like that was a very potent mixture, and that helped open things up and then also fight the infection. So, all right. Do you have it, Jen?
I do. Sorry, I was noisy. I thought I muted.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But I didn't.
Actually, I didn't hear anything. You were fine.
Oh, good. You can buy them. They're really cheap. It's just a little. So the real thing is, this is a tube, and you take this wick and you put a couple drops of whatever oil you want on this.
Uh-huh.
And you put it in there, and then it has a end to it. The end has holes, and then it has, you go like this, and you throw that in your pocket or in your purse, and then when you want to, you take this off, and you go like this.
Oh, that's cool.
You inhale, and then everyone around you isn't able to smell this. You don't have to have it all over you. It's a really kind of inconspicuous way of getting your oils aromatically.
That's really cool.
It's
almost looks like a drug addict just snort.
Yeah. I actually haven't used one, but I know people that use them when they're trying to quit smoking.
Okay.
Not that we're talking about that now, but they'll put black pepper on this, or black pepper and cinnamon, and then they can. And if you inhale it for the amount of time that you're smoking, it's supposed to help with cravings. But if you're not cleared up, you can certainly put some peppermint or some Breathe in one of these and use it that way.
Okay.
Or all 3 of the mixture and breathe it in. If you're out and you're feeling yourself start to get stuffy and have a reaction, you can use it that way.
Very cool. Gosh.
Another
All right, Donna.
method of application.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Donna, did you have something to add as well?
Yes, just a couple of quick things.
Please do, yes.
You mentioned On Guard.
Uh-huh.
I remembered reading that a lot of these allergy reactions that we have, maybe all of them, I don't know, have to do with your immunity. So it's your immune system that's reacting. So we really should be using the On Guard in combination with all these other things.
That's a good point. I like that. Okay.
And then one other thing I was going to say is I have a friend who's just started using, she started using the Tri-Ease about a month ago. She had chronic, it was terrible, all year long. Runny nose, stopped up, sneezing. I mean, she's always, I thought, is it going to work on her? But it did, and now she's just about ready to enroll. That's under somebody else, though, so it's not me, but one of my other people. I just was amazed that it worked on her even, because she had a really bad case of it. Allergic to molds and just so many things. And she does some cleaning, like she cleans our church, and my friend Sandy switched her over to the On Guard cleaner, because a lot of those smells, you've been seeing posts about that, the chemical smells that you get can really do a bad number on you, So with your allergies too. So I think that helped, and she really likes the On Guard cleaner.
Yeah, you made me think of something, and that's just that, of course we need to have a solid foundation for health we're going to have less allergies if we have that solid foundation, which for me includes the vitamins, includes if I'm, having my air be as pure as possible, meaning not using those cleaners that are so toxic, not burning nasty cheap candles that, anything you're breathing in, your body's going to have to deal with. So if you can give yourself the most pure environment that you possibly can, especially if you're indoors, you're just setting yourself up for success when you're out of doors.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, every aspect, really does connect to our health. It really is holistic. And so, really taking consideration what we are using, down to like your laundry detergent, which obviously there's On Guard. So On Guard laundry detergent, so you can
On Guard everything.
Yeah, On Guard everything, actually, seriously. Like you get the foaming cleanser, you can get like the cleaning stuff in general, go get like the laundry detergent and the oil. Yeah, anyway, it's great stuff. Yeah. Okay, let me see. So, okay, we are at 7:30. Are there any more thoughts before we move on to the business portion of our call tonight? Nothing? Okay, I think we're good. All right.
So, are you going to stop the recording?
I was going to say, yeah, let me just, okay, so she gave me control here, so let me just see.